When the country slowed down, tag sped up, powering the animation industry and giving people a reason to smile during their darkest hours. It's time for the studios to recognize our worth. We're number 1, and number 2, and number 3, and number 4. In 2021, 4 out of the top 5 stream movies were animated. It's time for the studios to recognize new media as big business that drives their profits. Show your love for the negotiations committee. These dedicated TAG members are back at the bargaining table to get the best deal possible for you. We're not just in the top 10, we are the top 10. In 2021, 7 out of the 10 top stream movies were animated. It's time for the studios to recognize new media as big business that drives their profits.
Animation. It's a medium that is highly respected in online and IRL. It's one of those things where if you have an idea for something, you can basically create it in your own way. Even though I'm technically not at that skill yet to be able to even animate shit, because I'm still trying to figure out my art and shit, I can respect the craft. Like I've watched a lot of animations, cartoons, and all that shit in my youth, and then still now, and I still can respect it. The hard work that people have to go through to make these things that we watch is absolutely, amazing, and I can definitely say without a doubt that animation is just one of those arts that you can just enjoy either on your computer, your phone, even on a TV, or even on the big screen in theaters. It's phenomenal what these people do with 2D, 3D, CGI. It's just amazing how they can do all this stuff with these things with so little. Even back then, they didn't have that much, yet they still could make some pretty good shit, and I'm impressed. So let me just ask this one question, because I'm gonna. Why the fuck are people wanting to quit? Why are people having hand problems with their fucking wrists and shit, having to wear these braces around their hands just to work in this shit? Why are they getting short deadlines? Why are they not getting paid enough? And why the fuck are they having burnout because of this shit? Why are they being treated like this? Why is this happening? Why is this going on? I know this has been going on for like a while now, so long, even before I was even born. But like, what the fuck? What's going on here? Why is it now that this is becoming a big thing? I wish I knew, but I'll be honest here. After reading and watching the video when I found out about this, and reading all these stories, seeing people give out their experiences, it makes me glad that I don't want to fucking, do industry shit. I'll probably just do my own shit. I wanted to go for an industry if I ever go to college, but now I don't feel like I would want to go. And it's not like I can't go because I'm not basically qualified. I have to basically master 4 different type of styles at best. And I can't be able to do that. I can barely even draw a good body proportion, for fuck's sake. So I know I'm not gonna be able to be in the fucking industry for only God knows how long. But after reading these stories and shit, what the fuck are y'all doing in the industry? Holy crap! Disney, Netflix, especially Netflix. You should know better than this. You let people have creative control, yet you treat them like dirt. What the fuck? What are you doing? What are you guys doing? Do you have no self-respect? Do you not respect your people that make this things for you, that create these things, productions? Why are you treating them like this? Why are you doing them so dirty all this time for so long? Why? Do you just? I mean, I know why. It's because of the fucking money. But like, still, you can still get the money and still treat your people with a little respect. Shit, I may not know about business or anything like that, so I can't really speak on that, but like, I know a lot about respecting people and knowing your worth in this world. And I'm gonna tell you, you clearly don't care about any of that crap. You just care about the cash. And I mean, I mean, we all need money. Money makes the world go round, as they say. But like, fuck me, man. It's depressing as hell when you really think about it. It's a very harsh and depressing reality that we are living at this very point. It's not, it's not the best, not in the best light anymore like it used to be. Like, maybe when I was younger, I didn't really understand all these things, but now maturing, growing up, hearing these stories, hearing these experiences, listening to it, reading, it makes me question why has this been going on for so long? Why is it now that they're, saying something? Why is it now they're speaking out? I don't know the words. Be mindful. This isn't scripted. I'm very, after I found out about this, I wanted to work on this video for a while now, and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Why? Why? I think I'll also like to add the fact that even though this isn't like a new thing, this has been going on for like a few years now, very long, very, very long, even longer than before when I was like born. But even knowing that, it's still kind of a very depressing thing to realize whenever it comes to working in the industry, that you are basically expendable, especially if you're not willing to comply to the demands that the industry is, wanting from you. I'd also like to add the fact that not only are they having to do, storyboarding, they also have to write dialogues, writing gags, design extras, doing animatics, a whole bunch of other stuff that they weren't originally hired for, but being paid all at once to do all those other things. Make matters worse, you're having to do this on a deadline. So even if you ever wanted to go on vacation, or if you had, problems when it comes to family or emergency stuff, you'd have to basically make up for the time you've missed. And even when you're, actually on break, like I said before, you're having to figure out whether if you should just go on break or have to do this and, figure out how much time you gotta work off to this. Like, people are literally getting injured to this stuff. They're having to wear braces around their hands just to work on this stuff. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys doing in the industry? It's like, come on now. Y'all know better than this. Y'all know better than this. Y'all gotta treat your workers better. Like, these are people that are making stuff for your, company. And the fact that you treat them like this is kind of a fucked topic to really get into. But like, I'll be honest here. I may not know everything about, the business or the industry when it comes to animation and stuff like that. But seeing all these things and hearing all the stories, especially with the whole thing that happened with the sausage party situation, where basically people having to work for free at this point, or work overtime, even when they're like not at work, and basically being forced to do this shit. It's like, god damn, y'all really don't know how to treat y'all workers. Like, fuck, man. It's not all peaches and cream like you think it is, people. It's a pretty fucked thing to really think about whenever you're like just by yourself thinking about it. Like, after seeing all these things with the whole hashtag, Storycraft and Unite and New Deal for Animation, I really want to help out with this. Like, I know a Twitter tweet can only get so far, which is why I know that the roundtable we're also working on a video about this, and probably by the time this is done, it might be out and it might not be out. I don't know. I guess we won't know until like this video is out or whatever, or by the time this video is out, it's probably already out, so you never know. But yeah, this is a pretty fucked up thing. I think the main reason why I'm even talking about this and trying to help spread the word, because like growing up, I used to watch stuff on Cartoon Network, Disney Channel, and Nickelodeon, shit like that. And I back then I didn't really understand how things were done or how things were made. And now knowing how things are really done in the industry, it's like, I don't think I would even want to work for the industry, especially how they treat people. Like, shit, I feel bad for the people that I feel bad for people that have to work in the industry, because like they're being treated like absolute shit, and it's kind of depressing. And it's not even just Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Cartoon Network. It's also fucking Netflix, hell, Sony, probably Paramount. I could be wrong, but like, it's not just them. It's apparently also Amazon Prime. From what I'm finding out, it's just, what the fuck. It's like when you grow up, when you're growing up and you realize that things are not as, peachy clean as you thought it was when you were younger. You really didn't really think about it too much because you were young. You didn't really know or understand. And when you really grow up and understand these things now, it's like you're on a whole other different spectrum of things. And it's like you're to the point that you're like, well, fuck, my childhood is ruined. I wonder what's gonna happen now. I may be cringe, but I am free. Fuck my life. Also, I really think that Disney is really mistreating Pixar, because the stuff they bring out now, besides the sequels, is amazing. Like, sure, some of the stuff can be hit or miss, but the stuff is still good, and I'm happy to finally see some original stuff. I mean, besides the the Lightyear movie that's coming out sooner or later, probably this year. But still, it's whatever, I guess. But I'm hoping with this video I can at least help spread the word as best as I can, even if I don't have as much as a following that I wish I had to help spread the word about this. But hey, gotta help out somehow, and I'm happy to help out now. Now, I do have some friends who are gonna be voicing over some tweets that I found on Twitter of people either giving out their experience, explaining the entire thing, or just giving their thoughts on it. So again, I really want to thank my friends who voice over these tweets, and in the end of the video I will be crediting them and stuff like that, or at least try to. I don't know if they all have social media or not, so I'm gonna do the best I can. If I'm not able to credit you, then I'll at least send you the video, at least so you can be able to shout yourself out in the comments, even though this probably isn't gonna get anyone any traction. But hey, I like to support my other fellow artists and stuff like that. So alright guys, this is your go now. This is the part where people read over the tweets and stuff like that. It's your go now. Yeah.
Being a storyboard artist is stressful. I count the number of days I have to board each script, and then I decide the parts I'll have to sacrifice quality on for the sake of time and my health. I want time to do good work. It's time for a new deal for animation. I'll also add that I have to count the days because it's never the same amount of days. Studios will just insert holidays into the middle of the schedule without moving deadlines. Or if I'm planning to have a day off, I'll often have to figure out how to make time up for that. This can be a problem, even on productions that are supportive of you, because the schedules are just too darn tight for everyone. If you're delayed, you delay and ruin other folks' already tight schedules down the line too, and that sucks. And don't even get me started about running into unforeseen problems that take longer than expected to fix in a board. Current schedules just don't have the wiggle room to accommodate that. If you want something done well the first time, you need the time to do it that way. This goes for everyone in animation, not just story artists.
Any animators or storyboarders that have struggled by their workflow, got underpaid, and have no free time to take a break needs to get a chance for a new deal for the animation industry. New deal for animation. Storycraft Unite. We are 839. I'm sick of seeing my friends and peers crashing and burning under unsustainable workloads, stagnant wages, and inhumane schedules. No more burnout. No more injury. We need a new deal for animation, and we need it now. Storycraft Unite. We are 839. I'm very lucky to storyboard in both live action and animation. Both use drawings to create a blueprint for production. So why does live action pay so much more? We need a new deal for animation, so working in either medium is a viable, sustainable livelihood. Storycraft Unite.
In the 2000s at Adult Swim, we'd have writer table reads for every episode. Scripts were made considerably better. I haven't had that happen once in the last 12 years. We're increasingly siloed, but being asked to produce the same level of entertainment. I have been working in television animation for the past 30 years, and 2 of my most successful projects were not produced under the conditions that artists face today. In the past 10 years, I have watched the demands for quality rise, the trust and faith in talent decline, and the schedules remain mostly the same. It's time for a new deal. Within my time in the animation industry, I've seen the responsibilities of the storyboard job grow from attainable to impossible. But I haven't seen pay rates or schedules grow at the same rate. As a showrunner, I have tried my absolute hardest to make good environments for the artists I work with, but I've still witnessed the way studios push artists into injury, burnout, and overtesting. At the same time, these artists are asked to do more and sacrifice more, but are paid less and are trusted less for their work. That's why we need a new deal for animation. Just a reminder, every cartoon or animated media you watched, watch, or will watch were made by actual people that deserve compensation for all their hard work. Just because it's not live action doesn't mean it's of lesser importance. Just a heads up, there isn't going to be a season 2 for the Cuphead show. Netflix are doing a dirty move by splitting the half of season 1 into 2 to avoid paying high salaries for the animators and writers. Why? Because it's animation and not live action.
I'm doing the same job for streaming studios that I did for TV and film, but I'm being paid less. I deserve the same pay for the same work. Not only are we required to do a near-finished piece of animation, we keep having to revise our work repeatedly due to notes from the studio, the streaming platform, investors, anyone who gets a say. We need a better pipeline and reasonable expectations for notes. I'm worried about how I haven't seen anyone actually retire from our field. They either have to quit due to overwork or because the software requirements of the job have changed on them again. Because of shorter schedules, we can't hire green artists without creating extra burden, but because of this, we're unable to have a diverse team, and BIPOC artists are more affected by this. It feels unfair to everyone. Green artists deserve a fair production. To gain experience on, and experienced artists deserve a stable work environment that doesn't burn them out. Storyboard revision used to be considered an entry-level job, but lately more shows are looking to hire experienced revisionists because of the shortened schedules. This is bad for all of us. It means revisionists have a harder time getting promoted to board artists, and we don't get new artists to take their place. It's great that demand for animation is increasing, but so are script pages and notes. The increase isn't being matched by budget, schedule, or team structures. We need more artists per board team, more revisionists to handle the large amounts of notes, and more assistant directors to share the responsibilities. Storyboard artists currently wear too many hats on a production. We storyboard, design props, characters, backgrounds, write jokes and dialogue, record temporary voice acting, lay out compositions for animation, add in sound effects, and time the animatic. These are all separate jobs, but we often are required to do them without compensation in time or pay. Because of the shortened schedules and seasons, I feel not only do I have to do my current job, I have to look for my next job at the same time. Not only that, studios are also telling us to pitch new content to them, so I feel like I'm always working. Storyboards have gotten so elaborate because it's easier for executives to watch a near-finished animatic. They used to be able to understand storyboards. All of our extra work is thrown away, retimed, and edited when sent overseas. There's no room in the schedule built for time off, for planned days like vacation. I've worked nights and weekends so that I wouldn't fall behind. But recently I lost someone unexpectedly and I had to go to the funeral. When I came back I had to do overtime to catch up while still feeling raw from grief. I have finally landed my dream job working in a studio I had grown up watching. The workload was impossible to stay on top of without falling behind. It was December and the studio threw a party. Looking back, I don't think I realized how quickly everyone left though. I thought it was just me. But isn't it cool I get to draw for a living? I dipped out early to keep up the pace. I had to slow down for a few days because of hand pain. Still, isn't it cool that I can hear Tom Kenny singing with his band downstairs? I only stopped by to pick up the lunchbox and go back to my desk, but isn't that nice? Now I don't have to waste time wrapping lunch. I can eat and work. I don't know what happened. I was suddenly hit with a wave of pride, then shame. It had been quite a few bards, but I was never gaining momentum. No matter how many lunches I skipped, no matter how many weekends I worked, I was always behind. There were times I would ask advice from production assistants, PAs, or background designers since I was so new to everything. But if I talked too long and someone walked by 3 times, they would interrupt by asking me to resign my timesheet to end the convo, or worse. I would hear that they overlooked the PAs since they had the free time to help me. When will I be good enough to not ask for help and get people in trouble for it? When will I work fast enough to get my weekends back and see my friends? When will my skill be high enough to do all that I'm asked of, and not end up in the ER again?
You know, as it stands right now, between animators lobbying and pushing for a new animation deal, because let's be real here, they've been underpaid for far too long. In terms of animation, like voice actors for sure have been the whipping boys, you know, they've never been paid as much or treated as well as regular actors. But then you have, even lower than that, is animators, constantly overworked, underpaid and underappreciated. And by in the fact of this is because most animators are generally rather faceless individuals, because with an actor, their face is their money, their name is their money, and outside of some big named animator, the vast majority of animators working for a company studio or whatever the case may be, their name simply doesn't pull enough weight. So the only way they're going to get anything done is they ultimately have to come together and demand change. And while this may suck for a lot of people, they have to put their foot down and ultimately decide. Either it's we get paid better, we get treated better, or we're out, we'll leave. They need to push for real change and actual far better payment. Because if they drop to their knees at the slightest little breadcrumb of, oh, well, yeah, we'll give you a tiny little amount, a small, minuscule little amount, and that's not good enough. Because ultimately the companies know then that they don't have to budge, they don't have to waver. All they have to do is give the illusion of change without actually changing anything. So all this said, for the animators out there, I hope the best for you. Because you're going to have to stand by your principles and by your beliefs on this. If you know what you're worth, go out and get what you're worth. Don't settle for breadcrumbs. Demand to be treated better.
Animation is amazing. It absolutely deserves respect. We're going to keep making good shit with or without the acknowledgement of our live action peers because this craft is truly special and we know the real value of it. Animation wanting the respect of live action peers at the Oscars is the reality not shown in recent generational trauma movies like Encanto or Turning Red. That we will never be good enough, no matter what we do, and they will never apologize for the trauma they put us through. We spent years pitching, writing, storyboarding, designing, directing, and rewriting only to have our medium spoken down to and publicly mocked at less than half the price of our colleagues in live action. Unacceptable. Hashtag New Deal for animation.
Well, yep, this is a very, very fucked scenario. Like I said, this isn't all peaches and cream like you thought it was when you were younger. These are real stories from people that worked in industry. People who have, pretty much put their sweat, blood, and tears into the craft. That is the stuff that you consume on the daily, on the TVs, streaming, computer, etc., or whatever you watch your stuff on. It's a pretty fucked reality, to say the least. Look, I may not, know a lot about, the industry when it comes to animation, but I know about self-respect and treating people right and treating people how you want to be treated. And seeing how they're being treated in the industry, I feel like there needs to be a new deal for animation, now more than ever. And we need, please, if you see this video, or if you see any other video that's talking about this, hopefully there's other videos about this, but if you see anything, talk about this. Spread the word, please. We need as much people spreading word about this as possible, because if this doesn't happen, then animators are still going to get treated like this, and newcomers that are working in industry are still going to be treated the same way as the others. And I think now more than ever we need a new deal for animation. So yeah, that's all. That's it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and see ya, I guess. Bye.